I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
It is time for us to use our power. Please do not beg folks for power. Nobody is going to give it to you. You were born with power.
Some very sad news for all of you and people who love peace all over the world. Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis.
I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's below me.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
But the hard truth is that not everyone is sharing in this city's splendor and glory. There are more poor than ever, more families in trouble, more and more people who need help but can't find it.
A struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself.
We believe that all men are created equal, yet many are denied equal treatment.
And so we say to all in this nation who would dare listen to us, black, white, Jew, Gentile, Asian, Latino, that we are brothers and sisters in a long and difficult struggle.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. I think I'm hearing.
One of our biggest campaign pledges to revitalize North St. Louis is coming under increasing scrutiny from many of the people who live there. As the mayor prepared to take the stage today, many of her harshest critics were being shown the door.
I'm sure you've heard about the North St. Louis Small Business and Nonprofit Grant Program.
Mayor THR Jones apologized to the mayor's celebration of businesses luncheon Friday afternoon for an error-riddled rollout of a $37 million grant program.
And we're learning from our mistakes and taking the steps to correct them. When vetting for viability, we relied on a third party that didn't meet our standards. And in an attempt at transparency, we were too quick to announce the conditional grant awardees.
One of the most vocal critics, a small business owner who applied for those funds, bought a $125 ticket, but when she walked in,
A detective walks up to me and says, "I need you to leave."
police.
I say, "Who are you?" He opens up his wallet and shows me his badge. I'm like, "I don't feel like I need to leave." He said, "Well, we can arrest you now."
Signs on the door said, "Please don't interrupt. Your right to protest is important, but this is not a political event." The St. Louis Development Corporation confirmed it canceled and refunded the ticket sales when they saw the name Tamika Steigers on the guest list.
Oh yeah, they recognize it. You know why they recognize it? Because I'm speaking up and I'm speaking out, not just for me, but for all the small businesses in North City.
They've been neglected.
We have been railroaded. We have been given a horrible grant process. Many businesses have not received funds that we should receive because they're giving it to their friends.
We're hurt. I mean, this is an impact on the black community, on the North City. They're talking about reparations. This is going to add to reparations of what you're doing to us and how it's impacting our businesses and our families.
I want to be accountable. The buck stops with me. The awarding and the execution of awarding these grants had flaws, and it will be corrected. The integrity of this program has not been compromised from a legal or compliance standpoint.
I'm told that SLDC became aware at some point either last night or this morning of those small businesses and their plans to protest outside and, quote, demand restitution. That's what prompted them to preemptively ban Steigers from entering. That's when they canceled her ticket sale. Her group is now passing petitions to try and collect enough signatures that would trigger a state audit of how the city is passing out this federal pandemic cash. Live downtown, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
All right, there you have it, folks. There you have it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, this is getting to be a little bit more interesting as the days go by. This is Prince Carter. I'm your host. This is the Prince Carter Show on a Saturday morning, talking about the American Rescue Plan funds. Of course, as always, as we do our podcast, there is no topic. You can always call in and talk about whatever you like. If you, in fact, are a individual that's wondering what is actually going on and what this stuff is all about, I'm going to give you a quick recap, on how we got to where we are now. As we all know, there was a pandemic. COVID-19 devastated the world, not just St. Louis, but the world. And there was a grave impact. Post-COVID, the federal government came up with some ideas on how to fix some of the things that went wrong during COVID. And part of that was the $1.9 trillion budget that they passed to aid and assist rescuing America, the American Rescue Plan. So money was sent almost 4 years ago to the city of St. Louis, $512 million. When we got the $512 million, never once did anyone say, this is where this money came from, this is what this money is for. You had to figure it out yourself, as we did. So out of the $512 million, there was $37 million set aside for small businesses and nonprofit organizations in North St. Louis. There was 37 out of the 512, which left approximately 475. Now, mind you, I always encourage people, if I ever say anything wrong, please feel free to correct me. I love to be corrected when I'm wrong. So $475 million was still in the pot. We don't know what that $475 million is doing, where it's going, or anything. So one of the things that we fought for was to actually get the money out years ago. The mayor, who I reached out to personally before the money got here, and her concerns that she expressed to me is that she did not want another PPP scandal. So that's why they were moving so slowly with emergency funds. I keep saying emergency because everybody knows what a crisis and emergency is. With the folks, when they had Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, if those people had to wait 3 years after that, what good would the money have been? In a crisis, you're supposed to distribute and get the resources to the people expeditiously, and that did not happen. So originally, I was trying to get the first $5,000. You were supposed to automatically get $5,000 when the money got here, and then they were supposed to vet and find out who actually had businesses. The federal government assigned the task to the local government to identify the businesses that were actually in business so that they wouldn't have another PPP scandal. They wanted to make sure that this money got to the people that it was supposed to get to, the people that it was intended for, and they entrusted our local government to identify us and act accordingly. However, it has now been determined that we've gotten something probably worse than a PPP scandal, and it's under the leadership of the mayor. The buck stops at the mayor's office. And no matter what you say, she appointed St. Louis Development Corporation folk. That's her administration. That's part of her administration. You can't get around that. I don't care what you do. If you are a mayor and you appoint someone for a given department, you're ultimately still responsible for the people that you appoint. And that's what this is all about, accountability. Let me say this as it relates to our mayor. I am one, unfortunately, that has always supported the mayor. I voted for the mayor when she ran for state rep, when she ran for city treasurer, and each time she ran for mayor. I believed in her, and when I heard her say she wanted to help erase the Delmar divide, I really was on her boat. You understand what I'm saying? I jumped on that ship sinking because the Delmar divide, and for those of you that may be listening out of state, the city of St. Louis is somewhat divided by given districts and areas. And the north side is pretty much confined north of Delmar. So we asked the mayor to stand on her word. The federal government gave her a $512 million eraser. Let me say this again. The federal government issued our mayors in the city of St. Louis and entrusted them with $512 million to get it to the people without a PPP scandal. Of course, as we all can see right now, they're failing. Now, one of the things is that they're going to say, this wasn't an easy task. Folks, if the federal government gives you a lump sum of money to give to poor folks in a distressed area post-COVID for their businesses, it's a simple process. You go to the city license collector's office. You find out who actually had and was issued licenses during the pandemic, who was operating, who was up and doing business during the pandemic. That's what the money was sent for. So they didn't do that. They didn't do that. And they came up with all these. Let me say this first. In my opinion, me having to fill out the application 3 times, and they've changed the rules and so on and so forth. One of the things that I've noticed and I've learned through this process, and that is the fact that the mayor could have very easily made this a simple process and help small, poor black folks. They've been going out of their way since that money got here to create loopholes, obstacles, and hurdles to prevent small, poor black folks from getting that money. Now, those that, went on to college and got the education and the degrees, they've been getting the money with ease, no problem. But that's not what the money was sent for. The money was sent not for you to give it to your politician friends, not for you to allow your family members to create companies and get $800,000. That's not what this program was for. It was for people that had actually suffered during the pandemic and had losses. And the federal government was trying to make it right and get some money to everybody, not just the wealthy as they normally do. They wanted to trickle down. If you go back and if you listen to what the president said, he told them when he issued the money, he said, listen, start with the HUD census tract building from the ground up. The HUD census tract, as you all quite well are aware, when it first came out, they had 11 corridors. And we had the Union Corridor, Natural Bridge, Martin Luther King, the Broadway Corridor, the Grand Corridor. It was 11 different corridors, which were all part of this, what is known as the HUD census tract. This is the area that's been redlined, disinvested, disenfranchised for decades. That's where the president instructed them to start. They went and circumvented and came up with other barriers and loopholes and found ways to create laws to get around what the federal government told them to do. In a nutshell, that's what they did. there is a push now. There is a push now to make it even harder for poor folks to get any of that money. And this is not, I don't know who it's coming from, but I do know this. I know that everyone that's in a so-called position of power and the leadership in this area is a blackface, and they are not doing right by poor folks in North St. Louis with this money. Now, take it a step further. Nobody said anything. Have you? Well, I haven't heard. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody call in and correct me. About tangible drug treatment facilities and mental illness. Some of that money was supposed to be designated for that, as well as the unhoused. An emergency crisis, and we are foot dragging and sitting the money in the bank so that we can draw interest rather than help the people while they're suffering. To me, that's despicable. That's despicable to me. And the act that was perpetrated yesterday. Now, let me tell you the truth about this whole matter. Our purpose at the mayor's luncheon yesterday was twofold. We were going to have some people outside expressing their disapproval of how they've been handling these federal funds for poor black folks in North St. Louis. We have to not be silent about that. See, what we have to learn as a people, as a community, silence is accepted. When we're silent about anything, that means we're accepted. And we need to be more vocal and express our concerns rather than sitting by and saying nothing. So the purpose yesterday, we were going to have folks outside, like I said, but 5 of us wanted to go in to actually hear what was going on in the business luncheon. You know, oftentimes when you ain't at the table, you're on the menu. So we wanted to be at the table in case we was on the menu. So the mere fact that we were not allowed to this luncheon, I was sent an email invitation and didn't have the money because it was $125 to get in. Somebody bought me a ticket so that I could go here. And to be turned away like that and rejected and blatantly disrespected was a horrible thing. And one of the things we must understand is this was a peaceful demonstration. So why were so many police out there? We saying we don't have enough police to patrol our neighborhoods and our community, but man, if you saw all those police, you thought the president was down there. It's just horrible of a waste of resources, and we've never disrupted anything. We've never acted fool about anything. We've always wanted to talk, and that's what this coalition has been doing, trying to mediate and talk with this administration and let them know what you guys over at SLDC are doing is wrong, and the way they've done it is wrong, and they've created a mess over there, and there's so many errors that were created, and we have evidence of file tampering and mishandling of files, and we want to know why did it take so long in the first place when all they had to do was verify that you had a business license, that you was up and operating in business during COVID, and you could have got your help. This is what this was sent for. It was sent to help people. And this administration think it's best that you sit the money in the bank and draw the interest and create loopholes and obstacles and try to create ways to funnel the money to other politicians and funnel the money to your family members and the people that donate to your campaign. That's what's going on here. Now, if a thorough check is done, there's going to be a connection between some of the people that donate to some of these campaigns out here and getting some of this money. And that shouldn't be. That's not the way it was set up. That's not the way it was intended to be used. And the money was sent for a disinvested, disenfranchised community that has been neglected since day one. And for the love of God, why the people that look like you and I are doing things the way that they're doing them and allowing this corrupt regime to continue to operate in a corrupt manner?
hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brothers, talk to me, sisters. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brothers, talk to me, sisters.
It is time for us to use our power. Please do not beg folks for power. Nobody is going to give it to you. You were born with power.
Some very sad news for all of you and people who love peace all over the world. Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis.
I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's below me.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brothers, talk to me, sisters.
But the hard truth is that not everyone is sharing in this city's splendor and glory. There are more poor than ever, more families in trouble, more and more people who need help but can't find it.
They struggle against the common enemies of man: tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself.
We believe that all men are created equal, yet many are denied equal treatment.
And so we say to all in this nation who would dare listen to us, black, white, Jew, Gentile, Asian, Latino, that we are brothers and sisters in a long and difficult struggle.
All right, we're back. This is the Prince Carter Show on a Saturday morning. We're going to be around for a few more minutes. Let me see here. We got a call. Let's get this caller on. Good morning, caller. It's a lady or gentleman on the phone.
Yeah, it's somebody anyway.
Are you a lady or a gentleman?
I don't know.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. What are you doing?
All right. Just trying to get over the fact that I was not allowed into the mayor's business luncheon, and I am a business owner in the city of St. Louis.
Yeah, but you're making them crazy.
I'm not doing anything but asking for accountability and for them to do the right thing and spend the money where it was intended to be spent and send it to the people that it was intended to be sent to. Not your politician friends, not your family members, not your political donors. It's for the people of North Side. You know, Mark, did you know that
but Prince, listen to me. All that you're saying is good and right. But the only way that you will ever get their attention is by sending a lawyer. It's the only way.
That's the only way.
Only way. And you heard what I said. I started off by saying, what you're saying is good and right. Can't be much better than that. You're good and you're right. Now, if you send a lawyer, they'll have a discussion. If you do this self, they're just going to kick your butt, which they've already done.
And still doing. But, you know, where I come from, Mark, and the way I was raised and what I believe is that when you're silent about something, you accept it. And silence is acceptance. And I don't accept what's being done, what's being perpetrated. Listen, they blackballed me since I've been back, Mark. You know that. But I thought, for the love of God, when I saw the President of the United States saying that he was going to send this money to poor black folks in these distressed areas and starting with the hood census tract and get this help to these people expeditiously.
Okay. And what did I tell you? That the way I got the money that was sent originally during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
that was due me legally,
Mm-hmm.
is I sent my accountant out to get it,
Right.
and my accountant got it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not aggravated. I didn't fight with anybody. There was no problem, but it has to be done the right way. Now, look, the sad part about what I'm saying to you is that you can't get any of this without a professional who you have to pay. And if you can't pay them, it's sort of catch-22. I get it. It's not fair.
Mark,
It's not
according to the federal government, the local government was supposed to put things and people in place to what Mark, you've been to North St. Louis. You know the vast majority of our people in our community have different challenges, and we need to understand the whole process. So that's why they put that place over there in the high school of Sumner, I believe it was, the place where Slate had you to go to fill out the applications, have you one. They were supposed to have people there to walk you through the process and actually help you fill out these papers and documentation. They put you in a room and told you to get on a computer and do it yourself. And that wasn't right.
Gonna work.
That wasn't right.
No, that won't work. Yeah, I'm telling you, it won't work. And when I say it won't work, here's the problem. And like you say, sure, I'm in North St. Louis every day. I've been in North St. Louis every day for 35 years. But here's the problem. If you put me in front of a computer, and believe me, I am educated beyond everything. I got more course credits, more PhD, everything. The problem is this. A lot of this is very specialized, and I don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
With all my education, I can't fill out that paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what you're saying. You're right. Because to put somebody on that computer that's got no education or a low education, it is stupidity, and they're not going to get the money. So it's all bad. I mean, it's not right. But I'm just saying this. You can't keep going after them and think that they're going to treat you right, because they're not.
Well, from where I sit, they ain't treating me right no damn way. So what the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
no, that's what I'm saying. That you've got the proof. Do they treat you right? No.
Mm-mm.
So all I'm telling you is, if you stop right now, and like I say, I know it costs money, but there are also some good people out here that you and I know that sometimes will give you a little help.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go out and find the right person, they'll put in an hour or two, and that's all it really would take, to fill out the paperwork and to represent you, you would get what you want.
Mm-hmm. And they know that, we don't have these resources and these...
That's right.
But the sad part is that when you put somebody in office, and when I say somebody, I voted for the mayor. The mayor said she wanted to help erase the Delmar divide. And when the federal government gave her a $512 million eraser, I was excited. I said, oh, she's going to get busy. We're going to get some help over here. And it was business as usual.
Well,
the money goes to the usual suspects. The money goes to the usual suspects, and it's business as usual. And that's just, I'm not mad with the mayor. I don't dislike her, but I'm highly disappointed in her. And I think...
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. And I'll tell you why. Because she's just a political person, that's all.
Well, she's a
And-
political
and-
person, Mark, that's in a position that appointed people to do a task that was supposed to help poor black folks, and they did the total opposite.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
You know,
And look,
let me ask you something. Wait a minute, hold on. No.
Okay, go ahead quickly.
Okay,
go ahead.
let me
Go
ask
ahead.
you this simple question, Mark.
Okay.
This
It's
money
nothing
was
simple, but go ahead.
This money was sent to aid people that went through a pandemic. It was a very terrible thing. A crisis.
Forget all that.
Okay, so
Forget all
do
that.
you think that it's fair for an elected official to allow a family member to create a company a year ago that wasn't even in business during the pandemic and award that business $800,000? Is that fair to the small poor folks over here that's been in business that went through the pandemic? Is that fair?
It's fair only if it's legal.
Okay, Mark. All right. That's your position. That's your position. No. I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't make it right. No, it doesn't at all.
There's no way a politician's family member should be getting $800,000 of that money when you got small folks that was in business during the pandemic that actually suffered, and you're going to give them nothing?
It's a shame. I agree.
It's despicable.
But yeah, well, it is. But let me say this. And here's the reality of it. First of all, for all practical purposes, aside from the fact of, basically like a handshake, and I mean for about 10 seconds, and not because I wanted anything else, but in fact, I didn't. Other than that, I've never talked to Shara. Mm-hmm. Really, I've never. Well, I haven't said. Hang on a sec. Mm-hmm. I haven't said more than 5 words to her. Okay, mm-hmm. and I didn't want to. Okay. Now, on the other hand, you and I, as well as many of our other friends, have been friends with Vervis.
Mm-hmm. I have much love and respect for Vervis.
Yeah, I'm saying, have been friends with Vervis for 35 years, okay? Mm-hmm. But I'm just telling you this. Whether it's Vervis or anybody else, they can't, and I know you didn't try, but I'm just saying that nobody can go out here and take care of all the problems that are in the community and everybody.
Nobody. I agree.
Not even everybody that they know, mm-hmm. because you know too many people. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is, and it's right back to where I started. You just need a lawyer. That's mm-hmm. all.
Exactly. Now, Mark, while I got you here, I wanted to talk to you about something else here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. What do you think? And this is just your own personal opinion. What is it going to take for us to get a snap on this driving crisis that's going on all over the world? I mean, people are driving like bat out of hell. People are just speeding, running stop signs, red light, and it's getting worse. What is going to take to fix that? Who can fix that? You know anybody?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I don't think you know what I'm about to tell you. Did you know that 3 weeks ago, on the way to my program in the afternoon, I was 10 minutes away, mm-hmm. in Chesterfield, mm-hmm. an old lady ran a stop sign and destroyed my car. Mm-mm. And by the way, when I tell you that she destroyed my car, everybody that's looked at that car is trying to figure out how I'm even alive. Mm. Now, in the 3 weeks, the insurance paid for everything. When I say everything, it paid for the car. Mm-hmm. And I'm currently driving a brand new car. But here's the thing. I got kaboomed in that accident like you wouldn't believe.
I can imagine.
No broken bones, luckily.
By the grace of God.
Yeah, well,
was it you or Onion that didn't believe in God? Which one was it?
Well, you're saying something. I mean, Onion and I agreed on religion.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your position on religion?
I love religious people who practice their beliefs in the privacy of their own lives.
Mm-hmm. But you're being a politician now.
I'm
do
really
you
not,
or do you not believe in God? Simple question, yes or no?
I can't answer that like J.D. Vance would say.
All right, Mark.
Here's my answer. Here's my answer. This is a very simple answer, and you may have to go look it up. But here's the deal.
Why would I have to look it up?
I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to tell you what I say, but you might want to look it up to see, some of the nuance behind it. But here's the deal. I believe in this. And remember, I'm Jewish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was out with a friend of mine last night who is Muslim from Iran, but I say Muslim. He's actually an atheist, and he and
Mark, for our listening audience, would you define your interpretation of atheist?
He doesn't believe in God.
Okay. All right.
Okay, but hang on. So we were laughing because I teach, and my Jewish students, I have Jewish students that I've had, and they always say that I am Jew-ish.
Mm-hmm. That's because they're saying you got a little black in your mark. Is that what they're trying to insinuate?
No, they're saying sort of.
Sort of Jewish.
But anyway, but here's what I have to say about religion. This is what I care about. There's two words in Jewish. Tikkun olam.
Define those words.
I can tell you right now. I'm going to tell you. Every Jewish person that's really Jewish knows what that means, and here's what it means.
Okay, but the people that are listening right now that aren't Jewish, you need to define so they can be in on what you're talking about.
I'm going to tell them.
Tell them now, Mark.
It means repair the world.
Mm-hmm. Who?
That's what I believe in.
You believe in repairing the world? That's
what I believe in.
I'm not a religious person, believe it or not, Mark. I'm more spiritual than religion. I respect anybody's choice on what to believe and how to serve. One thing I do believe is that there was only one creator that created all this stuff. And I believe that we as a people need to focus on a spiritual connection versus a religious connection. And that's just my opinion.
You're gonna hate this answer. But whoever created whatever, my question is, where are they all going to be in 4 billion years when the sun explodes and destroys the entire universe?
And
that's what happens.
Where you get that information from, Mark? What leads you to believe that?
The sun is nothing but a bunch of fuel that is like an automobile. The fuel is being used every day.
Mark, question.
The scientists say that in 4 billion years, when the fuel is used up, our sun, like every other star, will explode, and that's that.
Mark,
That's how. That's
Mark.
go take a physics class. That's all. It's science.
Mark.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: who do you know, or when have you heard of anybody going to the sun?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, they go to the moon. So they say, but none of them have tried to go to the sun. How do you know what the sun is if you can't get up there?
I'll tell you how. First of all, you ever hear of the Hubble telescope?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have a telescope now called the Jim Webb telescope that is a gazillion times more powerful than the Hubble. And trust me, it's like being there. They know where everything is in the universe. It's unbelievable. They can see things that existed a billion years ago, Prince. So trust me, they know what they're doing.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, Mark, but I've never heard of anybody going up there.
No, they
Mark,
don't go there.
I got to get ready to get out of here. I got to get to work this morning. I want to thank you for coming in this morning. You continue to stay strong. And listen, I got to get on your show and find out what's really going on, Mark.
Yeah, and you know the place to go is TALK. That's talk. That's TL.
Revolution in
that's the website. That's the website.
Can you give it to us one more time? Give it to us one more time.
TalkSTL.net.
TalkSTL.net.
Yeah, and you click. You scroll down about 3 inches, and it says "Watch Now," and right there you click it.
Before you go, can you give us the archives on the Onion Harden show that you said they were uploading somewhere?
Washington University.
Washington University. They are archiving. What was the name of that talk show you guys were doing on the TV thing there?
Well, I use the same name now, Showdown.
Okay.
And the funny thing about it is, because of who has that material in the Civil Rights Library at Washington University, you and I will be dead for 1,000 years, and people will be able to click in and watch Onion Horton.
Ain't that something? As if he was still here.
Good? Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at some of the episodes, and I remember some of that stuff as if it was yesterday. So thanks for enlightening me on where the archives were over, and we're gonna. In fact, in the weeks to come, we're gonna be editing some of the material and playing some of the snippets of Onion, who was, in my opinion, the GOAT of talk show hosts in the city of St. Louis. Onion was really a informed and well researched individual when it came to going on the air, and he every day read all the papers, and we used to go down to the library on Saturdays and watch those old films. When you talk about 100 years from now, he went and got the films from back in the day with the information and the laws and so on and so forth. So he was a real icon in the talk show host business here in the city of St. Louis.
But you have to admit, too, it is such a pleasure to click those links and to go back and watch those old films. And of course, they're in great quality. I mean, that's all. It was all done professionally, and it's all been maintained. And here's the thing about it: when Onion and I went down before Onion got sick and donated all that stuff to Washington University, I knew that someday it would come to this, and I'm just sorry Onion isn't here to see it.
I am too. Miss him so much. But listen, I got to run. I got to split. Got to go. Hope you enjoyed the show. Had a ball through it all. May God bless all.
I'm hearing revolution.
Take it easy, Mark Casey.
I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother, talk to me, sister.
It is time for us to use our power.